Hi, good morning. Today I'm talking about personal branding. Personal branding, for me as a musical artist, as a songwriter, but also in general, personal branding is something that I'm kind of geeking out about and have been over the past few years. And the reason is because back in like 2017, 2018, when I was starting my Learn English with Songs business, I like flailed, I failed, I was terrible at marketing and nobody knew about what I was offering and nobody was buying it and no one was clicking on my website. Like it was dismal. There was a lot that went behind that, and as I figured out that marketing was my problem, I started to dive in and take courses and seminars and trainings and books and really go deep into learning about marketing and how to get my work out there and how to connect with people and how to say, hey, I'm here, I have this, do you need it? Could it help you? Right? And what I learned is that branding is really at the foundation. It's like without the branding piece, all the rest of the marketing things that are done are just like, they don't come together, they're not cohesive, and they don't get the result, which of marketing, the desired result is to have people know who you are, to like you, to have some type of a connection, right? And to trust you enough to either buy what you are doing or buy into or support your cause or what you're doing. So yeah, that foundational piece brings everything together, makes it cohesive, and I've gotten to a point now where people are asking me for help with their branding, and I'm doing different projects, branding projects, and I've done it for my own company and my husband's company, and like now is the time, I think, to do it for this container as a songwriter and with my music career and this channel. And in the beginning, I was just putting out whatever, being super just raw and flow and just to get the momentum going. But I feel like I'm there now, and I've kind of gotten into a groove. And as I was talking about yesterday, building the habit of having music in my life. And so now I am sitting with, okay, how do I create this brand, and how do I share this brand, and how do I take it to the next level of my growth as, this container, this part of who I am. And a lot of this happens on a subconscious level with branding, and we don't really know why we like somebody most of the time or why we have this connection with somebody, but a lot of it is subconscious. And what I've learned is that those things you can get really intentional about what you're putting out there and what people's subconscious picks out on. And I wanted to go through 9 elements today. I started writing these and there was like 3, and then there was 5, and then there was 8, and so there's 9 things that I think I'm going to focus on initially, and then there's more. There's lots of other pieces, but these are kind of the core ones. And if you are a musician, if you are on social media, if you have a cause, if you volunteer for something, if you're working on a project that involves connecting with other people or sharing what you have, you might find these really valuable too. Okay, so number 1, because we as humans are so visual, is color. So I've been sitting with, I love green and I love white. Those are my top 2. But I've noticed that there's a lot of, I also like blue, and I wear a lot of black. So those are kind of the colors that I'm playing with now for my personal brand. And I think one place to start is what do you wear? What things do you buy? How those types of things might be helpful. If that's something you're interested in. And then number 2 would be like a visual font. Now right now on YouTube, I don't have a lot of customizability as to the description and what shows up. I could definitely work on the different formatting. Emojis is a part of my font style, and those types of things. But this is probably more for if I have a website, right? When I start to do whatever this is for us to have a real connection in person, or something more than just the video and the comments. How would I do the font for any type of like flyers or text that goes over images, or the album, right? The album cover and the album lyrics, and oh, that gave me an idea too for putting more of the lyrics out in different places. So like T-shirts, merchandise, the font, if it's consistent, the consistency is going to help with people knowing, recognizing who I am and who you are. And then there's like tone, style. This is more of like a feeling and like the intent behind what you're doing. Is it more casual? Is it a conversation? Is it like more professional and teaching something? Or is it, yeah, like for me, I feel like you're a friend. I feel like we have this connection as we get it. We get each other. We know the whole self-development thing. We want to make the world a better place. We want to be open and authentic, and we want to help others, and we want to be true to who we are. Like, that's how the style is that I feel like I'm putting out, and I feel like that's the tone, my voice, and my intent, right, and how that's coming through. Number 4 is like similar but a little different, like the vibe and the environment. How are the backgrounds and the environment different? Like, is it one person? Is it a group of people? Is it, I'm home, right? Or I'm out walking with you guys, and like, what is that type of style? Is it more like outdoorsy? Is it in an office space? Is there lots of stuff going on in the back? That's something definitely to consider. Okay, so number 5 is values. This one I'm kind of struggling with now because I've gone through an exercise for my company where my values for Growth Harmony are nourishment, kindness, and balance. Those feel so clear to me, and yet with this channel, it's so different. It's different. I mean, those are still important to me as a person as my values, but I don't feel like necessarily like that those are the values of me as a personal brand in the music space. And I actually created an exercise, one based on something I had done previously in the Growth Harmony magazine. So I'm going to go back and look at that and see if it gives me more clarity. Like, some people value freedom, some people value love. I mean, I think we all value all of these to a certain extent, but like, what are the top 3? What are the top 5 that are really going to have that connection, like, with us? Like, if you're like a freedom, adventure type of person, probably not. I don't know how much of an adventure. I do like the freedom, but I also like kind of the calm and the safety and I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff I'm exploring. But anyway, so values is number 5. Mission and purpose, number 6. Like, why am I doing this? That's pretty clear for me. Like, what is the purpose of this? And the purpose is, I think, to share, like, how exciting and how powerful songs can be for self-development, and how amazing our lives can be if we're constantly repeating good stuff and positive stuff in our mind, and how we can use songs to help us through the tough times and get us like towards our goals. Like, that to me is super clear. I think that's been clear from the start for me, but not everybody is clear on that, and that's something I think is important to consider. Audience, like, I touched on this a little bit, like, who are you? Like, what are you all about? And why are you watching? Why are you here? And what is it that I'm giving through this that is attracting you? And gosh, I can't wait to meet you someday, somewhere. Maybe at a gig, or maybe at I don't know, some kind of an event. But like, who's the audience? Who is this for? Who am I connecting with? Who am I helping? Who am I like on this journey with? That's, I think, super key to get more clarity on. And if you, bunnies are jumping. If you have a moment to write in the comments, like, do you feel like you're that self-development, make the world a better place, improve yourself type of vibe person? Like, is that you, or are you totally different? Are you like a just musician kind of in the background, or just not in the background, like a music, I don't know, I'm not going to assume, but like, I'd love to know a little bit about like why you're watching, and a little bit about you, if you have a moment to comment. If not, no worries. Number 8 is, how am I different? How am I different? I think first of all, I'm kind of older than a lot of other people who are in the music space. This like in the early part of their career, I think most people start young, so maybe that's a little bit of a differentiating factor. I feel like colors can be really like bright and bold and differentiating, or how we dress, and I'm not necessarily that. So I have my keyboard here. Like, is it my minor? Like my minor type of chords? Is it the fact that I just talk and I'm really open? Probably that has something to do with it. Or maybe it's different because there's not a lot of people doing self-development music intentionally, like with the purpose of self-development. I don't know, something I'll still explore. And then number 9, I think, is more geared towards the music people watching, but it could apply to anybody in like a broader scheme, like in a broader sense. What's the genre? And this can go to audience too, but like what is the bigger container? What is the type of music? Is it more pop? Is it more rock? Is it more electronic dance music? Is it more hip hop? And oh boy, bunnies are being active. Is it more classical? Is it like the jazz? Like what is what's the genre? And this could be, you know, for others too. Like what is the scope? What's the format? What's the category? Right? If I've got to pick something and describe my music on a form, or if I'm eventually on like a Spotify or SoundCloud or some kind of music service, what would I pick? I was like pop rock, singer-songwriter, like what would that genre be? And I think that helps with the brand a lot too, and for people to find you if they're certainly like attracted to that type of music. All right, so I hope that was helpful. It was helpful for me to talk through, so thank you for holding space. And I'm going to go and continue to do this, and maybe you'll start to see a little bit of changes going on as I'm experimenting. This is really fun. This is so fun, and I think the branding part of it is powerful, and as I said, so in the subconscious. And once we get intentional around it, it creates like this like magnetism effect, and it repels too. Like people who are not into your brand are just not into your brand. Some people love Nike, and some are more like Adidas or the Puma, or some people love Apple, and others are like, okay, I'll take the Samsungs or the Microsofts or whatever. But it's not everything is for everyone, and I understand that. And so how do we find the audience for us? How do we find the people that we connect with? All right, so if you're curious about this kind of stuff, and if self-development and music are kind of your jam, or you at least are curious about different ways to improve your life, definitely subscribe to this channel. Subscribe somewhere up here, because that's what I'm all about, and that's what this channel is all about, and I will be bringing you so much more of that as I've got this new sense of energy in life towards this channel and this purpose of mine, this deep passion. And it's more than a passion, it's just like it's ingrained in who I am and just has to come out. So yeah, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for listening. Hope that was helpful. Again, thanks, that was helpful.